From Neural Newscast, this is Deep Dive, exploring the moments that shape today.
Welcome to Deep Dive. I'm Daniel Brooks.
And I'm Vanessa Calderon. It is July 3rd, 2026.
Today, we are looking at a date that changed the map of the United States and the way we move across the world. Vanessa, we are starting in the summer of 1863.
Specifically, the heat of Pennsylvania. By July 3rd, 1863, the town of Gettysburg had already seen 2 days of brutal fighting. But this was the day that decided it all.
The conclusion of the Battle of Gettysburg. General Robert E. Lee made a massive gamble with Pickett's charge, sending 12,000 Confederate soldiers across an open field toward the center of the Union line.
Looking at the tactical history, it was essentially a suicide mission. They marched 3/4 of a mile through heavy artillery fire. It was a disaster for the Confederacy.
Half of the men who started that charge didn't make it back. When the Union held Cemetery Ridge, it broke the back of the Confederate invasion of the North. Historians call this the high water mark of the rebellion.
The significance was psychological as much as military. The Union realized they could win, and the Confederacy saw their northern momentum die right there.
Precisely. It set the stage for Lincoln's Gettysburg Address and the long road to Reconstruction. It is hard to imagine American infrastructure today if that battle had gone the other way.
From the fields of war to the paved roads of the future, there is another massive shift in human movement that happened on this day, just a few decades later.
In 1886, while the world was still largely relying on horses for urban transit, Karl Benz was in Germany doing something radical.
He unveiled the Benz Patent-Motorwagen. This was not just a carriage with an engine. It is widely regarded as the first purpose-built automobile.
It was a 3-wheeled vehicle with a rear-mounted engine. Think about the urban planning implications. Before this, cities were designed for walking and animals. Benz essentially started the era of the commute.
It only had about 0.75 horsepower, which is basically a lawnmower by today's standards, but for 1886, it was a mechanical marvel. It is the direct ancestor of every car on the highway.
It truly changed the concept of distance. While Benz focused on the physical world, our birthday guests today explored very different terrains, from the internal psyche to the heights of stardom.
Let's start with someone who would have found the chaos of modern traffic very relatable. Franz Kafka was born on this day in 1883.
Kafka is the definitive voice of modern anxiety. Born in Prague, he gave us works like The Metamorphosis and The Trial. When we call something Kafkaesque, we are talking about those nightmarish, bureaucratic systems.
His work is heavy on themes of alienation. Most of his famous writing was not even published while he was alive. He actually wanted his manuscripts burned, but his friend Max Brod ignored those wishes.
Absolutely. Without Kafka, our understanding of the 20th century would be incomplete. But on the opposite end of the personality spectrum, we have George M. Cohan, born in 1878.
The man who owned Broadway. If Kafka is shadow and anxiety, Cohan is bright lights and patriotism. He was a songwriter, actor, and playwright with hits you definitely know.
Give my regards to Broadway, Yankee Doodle Dandy, and Over There. He basically invented the modern musical comedy with a brash energy that defined American entertainment for decades.
He was such a powerhouse that there is a statue of him in Times Square. He represents that early era of the mega celebrity, which leads us perfectly to our third birthday.
The man who practically redefined what it means to be a movie star. Tom Cruise was born on July 3rd, 1962.
The king of the summer blockbuster. From Risky Business and Top Gun to the Mission Impossible franchise, he has been at the top of the A-list for over 40 years.
He has a very intense work ethic. Whether he is doing his own stunts or pushing for theatrical releases to save the cinema industry, his impact on the business of movies is as massive as his acting career.
He is the last of a global breed. Whether you are in New York or Tokyo, everyone knows a Tom Cruise movie. It is a fascinating contrast to Kafka's quiet internal struggle.
From the weight of history at Gettysburg to the mechanical birth of the car and the varied lives of these creators, July 3rd shows us the full spectrum of the human experience. I'm Daniel Brooks.
And I'm Vanessa Calderon. Find more at deepdive.neuralnewscast.com. Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast.
This has been Deep Dive on Neural Newscast, exploring the moments that shape today.